Hello, everyone. I'm Jacqueline Tsou. I'm currently a master candidate of Yale Divinity School. I'm glad to be here today. So I speak with my friend Tsou, which is um, currently master student at University of South California and in film direction major. So we know each other since few years before. Then currently we're talking about faith and talking about my story about knowing God. So this is why I made this decision, want to speak here to as a video form to let you guys as my audience to know about my story and my journey to find God. So let me give some minutes to Zijie.
Well, for me, I'm currently still a grad student at USC, learning about like film production, especially the documentaries. So it's quite a long story when I met Jackie, and we can talk about that later. But for now, I'm kind of curious about the status and the situation you are in right now, like where you're at and what you're thinking about like recent days and your situation.
So it sounds very like a topical missionary story. I was like running out from my motherland, which is in China, because of I want to practice Christian religion in China, but which is not really encouraged and allowed. And I want to register a non-profit organization in China, and which is met lots of challenge and I cannot find really an opportunity here. So that's why I made my decision. So I started seeking God 2 and 3 years before when I'm studying in UK and found the Sun and I start to reading Bibles few years before. So for me, my journey to left China it's like an exodus for me. So So 这个灯怎么忽然关了？So it's like
you can adjust it for now. Sorry.
因为我去 fix 一下。Sorry guys, it's like ultimately he will turn off because no, I'm too quiet to be here, so the light will be turned off. So anyways, we'll be back to the topic. So after that, I just decide to left China and I decide to study theology in the United States. So as an individuals, I didn't being raised up in our environment, which Christianity is being encouraged, and also people around me, no one talking about God. So for me, it's like I used to study art for 10 years, but what I'm doing is not want to be a professional artist. For me, it's like I want to find I want to find the mystery of life. So which makes me I'm quite a deeply romantic person. So for me, before I was 13, I always want to find the ideal partner in my life. It's just like in the Chinese novel, like the states of divinity, which is called 笑傲江湖 in Mandarin. I always want to find my ideal partner. So I dreaming about I can have that kind of life, which is like 任盈 and 令狐冲, which is live like that lifestyle. So for many years, I want looking for that person, but I didn't realize my courage and my strong will leads me to find another thing, because I just find there is absolutely no particular man can be like that way. The only way we can find is if we want to know the answer of what is true love, if we want to know the answer what is veritas, if we want to know the answer what is the way. So which takes me with this question to explore the world, to meeting people, no matter they are man or woman, everyone work into my life. Everyone work into my life. It's like shaping my soul and also give me inspiration. Obviously, as a woman, if I met men, we develop a serious relationship, they will impact my life much more deeply. So which is why I write down all of my story or the people I met. But in the end, for me, it's like I finally find the question and the answer in my life, which is currently I realize the three questions in my life. The first one is who I am. Then the second one, where I can find the truest self, and where I can find the highest self. Those three questions, for most of people, they never think about that. But for me, and very fortunately, I found the answer. So the first question is about who am I? So I found the answer in Boston. So I got baptized in Cambridge MA before. So my answer is I realized I'm a God's doctor. So where I can find the truest myself, which is I always not really worship any university. I'm not kind of person to think if I put Harvard or Yale on my resume, which will make my life different. I never want to chase in that. But in the end, I just find a new heaven, which is where Yale University located is a place. Every time I've been here, I find I feel right about myself. Even I just met a homeless on the New Haven street. I feel if I can talk with them, I feel I've been fulfilled. The air, the vibes, the weather, everything makes me just feel so right. And for where I can achieve the highest is about I just broken up with someone, which makes me very, very undervalued myself. Once I cut off that relationship, I decide I will go Washington, D.C. because that's a place I always dream about, want to visit. I want to see how what's the potential being bring out if I put myself in DC. So I just realized the city, Washington DC, is full of NGO, non-profit organization, and women and people, everyone talking about politics, which is absolutely not allowed in my original country. Especially as a young woman, you are not allowed to really talking about politics because, in my perspective, there's no real politics in my country. So so when I walk on the street in DC, I can just met passengers. He's a black guy, is a man, work as a lawyer for law firm. So we just very randomly talking about China and US relations, and she is very encouraging me. You are in the right place. So I have a picture in my mind. Maybe in the future I can be the advocate as a human rights, as a social activist, and as a film leader to help women or help anyone in the world who want to find what the truest of themselves and want to find the mission of their life. I think I will be qualified one day as a leader to inspire people and lead those people to find their destination. So I found myself, I got a picture, imagination like at one day, and maybe I can give a speech in White House to telling people you may be without enough money, you may be just a single young lady, you may be just run out from a toxic relationship, you may be used to abusive by your original family, you maybe come from a humble background, you maybe do not have a rich parents, you maybe do not have a fancy degree from Harvard or any Ivy League university, but you still have the right once you decide, once you really fortunately can close to God, and God will help you find the answer in your life. So it is a tough journey, but for me it's like it is worse.
Yeah, it's a lot of elements you mentioned and a lot of topics, but let's jump back a little bit because where we met, you mentioned like like an accident because where we met and how we met, I thought it's quite a like an accident. When like received your message and I just realized you already landed on the Lex airport and I was still in school. And before that we haven't like we merely talked to each other even on those software.
Mm.
You just text me, can I pick you up as Lex airport? But what's courage or what's the decision making before that when you come to US and without like a very solid plan after you arriving?
So for me, I always have one philosophy. I do not believe things visible. I mean, I don't believe what people talking about. I believe what I can discern. So I believe the things which is invariable, it close the truth. But since variable, it cannot be, people can fake it. So I always try to find um the truth of human life. So it's like when I trying to left China, I already have my faith foundation. So I got my pastor in that moment. So every time I do have some budget before I left China, but I didn't realize that I've been rejected twice. So I successfully run out of China in the third time. So it's cost me more than half money. So I only have very limited budget when I'm already in the United States. So and also I read some story before I came here. So for me, it's like I think I got lots of courage because I'm kind of naive. Even I'm already 30 years old, I'm really naive sometimes. So I think in some point, my naive gave me a lot of courage. So, which because I didn't. So mostly people, they will worry about lots of things. They will make plan. But for me, I have no idea how to make plan. And I have no idea what I should worry about. I just like to use the power of make random decision because that's a story happened in my life since I was 18. The first time I try to run out from my home is when I'm 18. So that's a moment everyone worked really hard about Gaokao, and I was at the moment I was already start to thinking about why I want to go into the best university and study what then and for what. So this question confused me, but everyone is so concentrated about what the marks they can earn from the exam. So I was totally feel I'm so lonely. I'm so like an outsider. So I wrote down lots of thoughts on my mind. I wrote down lots of things, and with barely a lot of sketch. And also I will mention your hometown Chongqing. There is a magazine called 课堂内外 located in Chongqing. Yeah, so I always read that magazine. So I just decided to, with all of my sketch, I will run out from my home and go to that place. So my courage takes me to stay at the train station in Chongqing, which is I'm just 18 years old in that moment, and I don't have enough money, so I find a hotel which is very dirty, and I just cannot sleep. I'm so scared in the moment. I just sitting on the bed. I cannot sleep. So the whole night, I just watch out the window and the moonlight goes through the window. And I remember that's quite a night for me. Then the last day, I was very lucky. I just directly go to the place. Then someone hosted me, and someone he looked at me young and very naive and seems missionary with my own papers. They introduced a lady from that magazine to me. She take me to his apartment, cook food for me, then I take shower, had a good sleep. And in the second day, he bring me to meet the chief editor in that magazine. So we have very deep and long conversation for 2 hours. And later, that chief editor making a call to my father, tell him, you doctor absolutely have the talent and gift to study media or journalist. You should not force her to study accounting for money. So well, then my family just said yes in the end. So that's the first time in my life. The first action is kind of like exodus for me too, because I from that thing I find my power to making choices what I'm gonna study. So it's I find my power to decide which way I want to go. So I reject my family told me I should go to study accounting or some major which will help me make money upon graduation. But I made a choice to study what I want to study. So that's the first step. So for me, it's like in my life, I met lots of things like this. So every time I make decision, I didn't thinking about what I'm gonna lose. When I don't think about what I'm gonna lose, seems every time is a win. In the end, I will receive surprise and gift. That's why I always believe. So when I decide to leave China, so I just like, fuck off, I'm gonna do it. I just gonna do it. Then I take 3 months. And every time when I almost losing my face, as already I'm a thinker and I do have pressure. I'm very lucky. Every time when I almost losing my face, I will meet a Christian people to help me or come to talk with me. Sometimes they just encourage me. I didn't realize even my Christian friend tell me there is no one can like you met Christian every day in China. So I always believe that it's because my God is taking care of me. So while some people may think I'm too religious, but for me, it's like, well, I just decide to believe. It's just you decide to believe there has God. So yeah, that's the courage comes from.
But the process of your decision making is quite unique, as you know, comparing to other like our age, the friends around us. But can you talk a little bit more about when you mentioned you encountered the belief in God in UK, but why is that happen? And is that change your decision making in some ways at that time?
I think maybe because I always been very curious. I'm a highly curious person, and I'm kind of hungry to learn with no agenda, because we've been educated and taught in China. It's like everything. When we're at school, the teacher will tell you that put more attention on maybe math, maybe a STEM major, but do not spend much time to reading politics, do not spend much time to reading literature or history. But I am definitely go to the another way. Since I'm in high school, sometimes my family even, yell at me because I spend too much time to reading politics or history, even philosophy. So, but I really into it. I just hungry to learn. So when I upon graduation, I just always, I don't know, I just always have that courage. It seems have too much courage since I born. Maybe before I born, I just have too much courage to always make the choices different with others. So it's like I know what I'm looking for. It's like maybe I'm against the whole country's ideology. It's like because there are 3,000 history in China, and there's 30 billion people in China, and the whole country believe one thing. But I don't know where the courage come from. I have that courage to make another decision. So my will is very against 30 billion people's will. So but I'm very lucky. So every time when I almost, into the hell, there always someone gonna to help me out. So including you, you are one of them helping me out too. So at least maybe can survive in that moment. At least it's a good sign. It's a good start. So you are the first person host me for 3 days when I'm in United States. So no matter how things go in later, you made it a start. So I'm really appreciate that. So for me, it's like no one gonna taking care of me for long term, which is I know, and know any place I can really settle down before I find my destination, before I really qualified as a as a as a representative or as an advocate for what I'm gonna do. So I just I just sometimes, I just can only depends what I believe. Yeah, that's the only thing.
But was the feeling you first encountered the belief UK you mentioned? But what's the trigger? What was it?
Oh yeah, there do have a moment. So I mentioned about when I'm 19 years old in Chongqing, right? I stand in that hotel room and the window here and the moonlight going through. So in that moment, I remember the environment around me is absolutely dirty and I feel so scared and I'm so lonely. And also no one understand what I'm doing in that moment. But I just didn't realize 10 years later, because we both learned film, so we know some, image, like a picture. Sometimes it makes me will have connection with memory which happened in 10 years before. So the day was like I was sitting in the classroom in Oxford, which is Christ College, and taking a course called Women in PPE, which is Women in Philosophy, Politics, and Economics. It's a testing course, but I'm sitting with a group of girls. Every girls have passion, every girls have ambition, every girls seems have that courage to want to impact the world. So I just realized, since what I'm gonna do in the past 10 years, nothing really matters on my professional career. And I do not work for any particular company, any particular man. But since everything, God is watching. And so in the end, 10 years later, she gave me a reward. The reward is 10 years before, I was sitting in the shady hotel room in Chongqing, and 10 years later, I was sitting in the classroom with a group of future film leader and the chosen babies, those PPE students. I'm sitting with them and thinking about how to impact the world and thinking about the future. And I just feel I've been empowered in that moment. I feel I've been empowered. I feel there is a magic. I feel like God used his hand, touched me in that moment, and I see there is not moonlight anymore, there is sunshine, and there also the same window. I'm gonna send you a picture later. So there has the same window, but the view outside of the window are already totally changed. Before it's dark, it's just moonlight, the place is steady. But 10 years later, the place became to Oxford and the sunshine outside is so lovely. And everyone around me, they admire my courage, they admire my curiosity, they admire what I'm going to do. It's like people around me totally changed, the environment around me totally changed, my mood, my view of myself totally changed. I feel like even 10 years already passed, I still the girl, just like 80 years old, still full of courage, still have a dream, still dreaming about I can change the world as I'm a woman. So that's a moment I definitely feel there's someone, I think it's Jesus or maybe it's God, because the college we sit in Christ College. So Jesus Christ is Christ College. So I feel someone touched my heart. Before I was feel like there are lots of dark. It's just like tattoo on my heart. They're full of disappointing. They're full of hate. They're full of lost. They're full of darkness. But in that moment, I feel God use His hand, just like I remove my tattoo, remove all of the darkness on my heart. So I do have that feeling. So that feeling makes me feel so magically. Then later, um, everyone just living. I cannot get myself from that vibe, so I just choose to sitting under the sunshine in the yard in Christ College. Then I sitting there thinking about what I mean go through. It's just like a film in your mind. You see all of the things you passed. You see all of the people you used to meet, and I just feel like I just feel like all of the things, just like a film, there is a copywriter write a story. I feel it's like before it happened, someone already write that story. So I mean to go through all of those things. I mean through met those people, and in the end, I just feel so touched. I write down something about. I feel appreciate. I feel I'm proud of what myself been holding on for many years, and I feel fortunately I didn't change myself. I didn't become someone else. The society wants me become to, my family wants me become to, my friends wants me become to. I still the same person, which is 10 years before. I still that 18 years ago old girl. So that's one thing I feel it's kind of gift. It's kind of magic. Not everyone have that courage to keep that hurt. So yeah. So the point is about I do feel someone, really touched my heart. Yeah, I got that physical feeling. It's like, yeah.
But till now, after all this experience, after all the journey you've been in the States,
Yeah.
is the magical you mentioned decrease or disappearing away? Because you mentioned the thing you hear the Bible once, but after all the things, how do you feel that right now, or how do you, the viewpoint change, or the perspective change, or how you still view the approach for today?
Um I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
After all the experience and after all
Mm,
the journey you've been in the States,
mm,
like generally, how do you feel about the magic you mentioned right
mm,
now?
mm. So it's like I think um one person's life as a human creature, our whole life is about making choices. So there's nothing about you make choices and you get a reward that you can relax in the rest of your life. It's like you're gonna always work on it. So maybe today you can relax, you get a word, but tomorrow you still need to back to the wall because there is a wall between uh between the reality and what we believe. There's always a wall between reality and what we believe. It's just like we still will struggle about how we earn a living. It's very reality. It's about we're gonna think about money. We're gonna think about food, where we sleep, where we live, um, and the relationship with a friend, with community, with our partner in the future. So I don't think there is any magic can make me feel how blessing, because we have to live in the reality every day. So when we need to get a job, we need to find a job. When we need to make money, we need to work hard. So, but the thing is about you have to protect your heart. Your heart still have to believe, and in the same time, it's not easy. It is tough. You still have to always thought about the reality. So there is no any magic can, makes you just can chill and relaxing here. There's no such things. There's no such thing. Yeah. So I'm still very struggle about where I gonna live in maybe next week. Yeah, next week, and what kind of people I gonna meet. But the most important thing for me is like I just believe if I'm gonna be someone, loose and homeless and I have no achievement, God won't let me look at me right now. I'm sitting at our classroom and no one kicked me out. And everyone's so friendly around me. So I do believe that it's about if I already give my life to God, she will protect me for sure. But it's not like put me in the comfort, you know. She will give me what is necessary for me. Like now I have electricity. My computer can have a table. I have a space to speak with you, and I have free Wi-Fi, and I just get a water in the downstairs before. So everything necessary and prepared for me. God prepared everything for me, but He won't put me in a comfort room. So I think I made myself clear and I answer your question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm quite admire that last time you mentioned we didn't thank enough to what we have today. But I'm curious about your like future plan of not even the application, but also
Yeah.
like, future how you can deal with like the life, the money, the
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Okay. So firstly, I think to continue my education is a necessary. It's gonna be the most important part in my next year and the next 3 years. So in the same time, when I already accepted by Yale becoming the official student at Yale University, I gonna have my plan another plan about career, and which I actually already started recently. I realized there's such much homeless women in United States, including me. I think I barely homeless many times already. And I just realized you cannot count on any particular person to help out. Um, especially for women, because God create women for reason. So woman is a core, no matter in a family or in a society. There has a woman, and there has a shelter, and there has a husband, which is called a family. So for me, academically, I want to find the answer why so many women homeless. There has reason. Some people they have mental health issue, like they cannot keep a job for long term, which is I met this situation too. I can find a job very quick because when I doing interview, when I talk with my boss, everyone is kind of like see my highly potential can do a job well. But when I really do a job, I just cannot handle that every day, particularly do the things repeat, deal with same task. That's a big challenge for me. So from my own story, I would like to, sometimes you're helping people, you're helping yourself too. So for me, I want to start a non-profit organization in the future, and I want to be the place. My NGO headquarters will be Washington D.C., and I will work with some female leaders, and some maybe people from the church community, from university community, and from NGO community, social workers, influence, and they do have a plan to start up an NGO. Then how to make money is basically NGO do not really make money, but we will try to find a donation. But it's similar with all the missionary people's life. We all do the things and earn a living based on faith. And I hopefully in the future, I cannot answer that question about money right now, but I will keep that question on my mind for for long term. And I do believe maybe if I'm lucky, so I can find people who really, really good at earn money, and I can do this part, they can do another part, and we can build a partnership. Maybe we help each other. So that's maybe how we can work out. So yeah, that's the mission I can see, and that's a goodwill I want to approach. And most of the time, I will just ask my friends pray for me, and including myself. Now it's like my mother seems about to become a Christian too, which makes me feel so surprised. Yeah, and everyone around me they would like to pray for me. That's what I really appreciate. Yeah.
Before come to the last question, you mentioned your mother, but why is the mother like changed the viewpoint of the Christian? Like because you never told me before, I'm quite surprised.
Oh yeah. Because my mother is like he's a he's a person not really close to me. I never feel he give me a feeling like mother, because she's not lucky find the right husband. So there is not a good husband in the family. The mother didn't been taking care of goodwill. She cannot show so she can only go out to make money. And most of the time she will very anxious and lost. So but I didn't realize that I feel like God very mercy and love my mother too, because for many times I want to cut off the line with my mother, but there always some reason bring me back to her. So I celebrate my 30 years old birthday with my mother while reading Bible. So before I left China, I already do one thing, bring my mother to church. So she read the Bible and pray because she worry about me. So he didn't really understand what is God and understand what is faith. He do not understand. He think Bible is just story. She make time to read the Bible every day, but she cannot really talking about God and Jesus. And every time when she pray, I just feel she's very like all of the Chinese people, 拜菩萨. So but I didn't realize this time when I back into Cambridge, I live with a Christian couple. I didn't realize the lady in the house, she's kind of very grateful and passionate about to educate my mother. So they have a conversation like us every day. And she's a woman, so she had a patient, and so she just tell me, my mother is very willing to accept Jesus as her servant, and I'm glad to see that. And they try to find Christian brothers and sisters in Guizhou, in Zunyi, to maybe after this spring festival, my mother gonna get a pap pressed. So yeah, that's a big thing for me. It makes me feel I'm not going to back China right now anymore, because before I told you I'm losing my faith. I just feel I'm so tired. I cannot manage everything. And I thought someone like my ex, he gonna help me out, but I didn't realize those just devil power. So now I very surprised to find that even my mother gonna be, join me to do this work. So I feel it's like, I've been empowered. So I can see maybe the future is more bright, you know. I can really settle down in United States and becoming a citizen of the United States. I'm gonna start my career here, my new life here. And one day my mother gonna go to visit me. That's what I never imagination before. Yeah. I just feel it is kind of encouraged. Even I'm still very struggle. I do not know where I'm gonna sleep next week, but it is good sign for me. Yeah, my
Sure.
mother gonna be becoming my sister. Yeah, in Jesus' name, that's a big surprise. Yeah, that is a big surprise.
Definitely. Like you talked to her recently, or what's her reaction to your like recent experience?
Well, the very reality connecting is that sometimes they still ask money from my mother.
Hmm.
Yeah, so but I didn't realize since everyone so the first one asked me because I don't know why, just people, you know, around me, they always tells me, well, you know, Jackie, if you have a limited budget, you should ask help from your mother. She's your mother. And so the lady hosted me, the American lady in New Haven, she's the first person tell me, wow, Jackie, she's your mother. So you should ask help from her, even maybe just ask some money to buy food. Because sometimes I don't even have money to buy food, you know. So sometimes I just don't. So it's like I don't want to look like homeless. So I just don't sleep. So I don't want to make me feel I'm super poor. So I just don't eat, you know. So so the lady hosted me, she's words very valuable and important for me. So I listened to her. So she told me, reach out your mother. That's why I reconnected with my mother. So I still can feel my mother love me. Maybe not so deep, but he do love me. So and maybe he loved me so deep, just not the way I want. So so sometimes when I met, I don't have bunch of WeChat connection on my WeChat. I only have 5 people on my WeChat connection. So I talk with my mother. So sometimes, you know, I just want to find someone to talk. So my mother talk with me, and at least we pray together every day, almost every day.
Via
So
WeChat.
by WeChat, yeah, yeah, because we do not have any
Mm-hmm.
conversation can have. So we just, you
Right.
know, I pray and he pray. Uh, that's our interaction. Yeah. So
What was
God and money is the agency between me and my mother. So now there is a brother and sister. Seems, yeah, Jesus Christ and money. And seems now my mother step by step back to my life. I feel like that way. Yeah.
but what's her reaction to this? Like to the thing you experience. But did she know like how you're surviving this? But
You know,
did she know the details? Like this,
she don't really know the detail, but my mother still like a self-made woman. So when she very young, she's still being struggled by, you know, he told me he used to because he want to um find his own home. So she rushed into a marriage with my dad, which is sad. But she do get financially independent beside my grandfather. So because he disliked my grandfather, so she didn't complete college. So she go out to make money, run own business very well. She uh bought the property when she's still 17 years old. She bought a house. So and and she's really good at running business, do sales. So um but she been go through that experience which I'm go through now is when she's still, you know, as a single young lady, she have to go out to sometimes because of his business, she still, you know, stay at train station for whole night without sleep. She had that experience too. So for me right now, she always wants me to, you know, she sent me to good school. She sent me to study abroad. She wants me to just find a husband, maybe,
right.
maybe bought a house in Chengdu. Um, and she will buy me a car. She want me just earn a life like that, but I don't want to. I don't want that life. I want to go for my dream. I want to go for my mission. So in the end, he just, well, the last time she sent me to train station, she know I was like I will train to Chongqing, then fly to another place. So Chongqing is always like the first stage, when I want to run out on my home, because train is pretty much close to Chongqing, and Guiyang is definitely still in that province, but Chongqing is another area. So for me, every time I want to find something new, I go to Chongqing. I don't go Guiyang.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so it's like my first station to. It's just like when I open the door, just like the first time I open the door, I go out. The first place I landed will be the Chongqing. So it's kind of consequence, when I go out of China and I meet you. Yeah. It makes me feel very consequence. Yeah. So in the end, my mother just gave up the idea. So even recently, I stepped into the toxic relationship with a boy, and I just finally told my mother. I told my mother, it's like, please stop to telling me I'm gonna find a nice husband, because that's not my life. I have to do what I should do. So the right person, the right husband will walk into my life. So do not put my dream as I'm do everything just for only find a good husband. Even she came from Harvard, it doesn't matter. Then even she have a company, no matter what, it doesn't matter. So because that's not my life, I realize that. So my mother just given up. So to convince me stay in China or find a good husband. So she just recently totally given up on that, and I very make sure I don't make for a particularly man. That's my life. Yeah, I think recently I find I feel I'm the Jackie for everyone. I mean, I'm the Jackie for the public. So I will treat the homeless on the street the same mercy, same passionate with some people. Maybe you have such a huge bank account under your such huge a number in your bank account. For me, it's the same. I want to be the Jackie for everyone, for my people. So I don't want to be the girl for a particular man. So the first thing I do just cut off my hair. I know. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, because to me the parallel you with your mother is quite touching. Like you said, you find out there's a parallel, and also Chongqing saved you. But comes to my like last two questions. Well, but also you mentioned the famous power, because you talked to me about the Michelle Cho. She won the awards like last night.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that compared? Because you said you like Jackie for everyone, but Michelle to me also, Michelle is also for everyone as the icon in entertainment industry. For especially the Asian girls or any minorities.
Can you repeat your question?
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about that? Because last night you sent me the news of the Michelle won the global awards for the actress, but why is that like interest you or say her as an icon?
Okay, so firstly, I know her because she's a Leo girl, so I'm a Leo girl too, and so I very very like the role he played in Hidden Dragon. Well, how to say wolf song in English version?
Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger.
Oh, Crouching Tiger. Yeah. So I really like the role Yu Xiulian she played. I from my romantic relationship, I found some of the moment I feel I can see myself from, I used to think my personality or my character really similar with Yu Jiaolong. But in the end, I just realized our complete personality woman should be like Yu Xiulian. So she's a woman I feel that she's the only one has the healthy and independent and complete advanced level personality in that film. So for me, it's like I can see some of my own image from everyone from that film. So I used to met someone told me my character and my behavior really, really like Yu Jiaolong. So yeah, I kind of see why they say that too. But since I go through something and I realized if I want really be an independent woman, my character should be more grown, as Yu Xiulian is a symbol for me. And also, Michelle, you always play those kind of, strong women. From Yu Xiulian and to the creator Vacation, she plays the house lady of the Asian richest family, right? So it's called Anino Yang from Singapore, the most richest family from Singapore. So she also showed the like good symbol for rich families, housewife, and as a lady, as a wife, as a mother. And I always can see the good character from her. So for me, he's a one in Asian woman. Compared with Lucy Liu, I prefer her. Yeah, because I can see she I can say I want to learn and I want to be that kind of woman which she is. So yesterday when I saw that, I just really excited. And also when he talk, I feel I see myself too. So that's why I got so excited.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So comes to the last question, like I asked you before, why this specific school? Any reason for that? To
Oh, you mean Yellow Japanese School?
yeah, why
No.
is it
Oh,
specific this?
so I have to say, so there is a program at Yale called Yale Open Course. So when before I came to America, so when I at home, I watched the Yale Open Course for some moment. So Yale Open Course play a role as my partner to help me seeking my faith when I'm still a seeker. So in the period I believe in God, but I don't know in Jesus. So I used to watch a course called Ancient Greek History, and the professor is named Daniel Cohn, which already passed away last year at my birthday and in DC. So she already passed away, but I still remember one time I had a fight. I had an argue with my mother because I put too much on my own attention to helping my mother to dealing with his relation issue. So I feel I'm kind of, very limited. I have limited energy and I still need to worry about my own life, my own career. But I just turn up the TV and I watch the Yellow Open Course. So I still remember the words from that professor. She telling about the story in Ancient Greek. He told us, know you're limited. So you are not divinity, you are human. So that verse makes me suddenly realize, yeah, I'm a human. Why I treat myself like the savior of my mother's life? I am not the God. I'm not the savior. She have to deal with his own problem. So I've been inspired that, so I removed myself from that place. So I've been released. I released myself as an individual. I'm just another human too. So it makes me thinking about, so I'm only the human. So that makes me change all of my philosophy in my whole life. So I don't treat myself as special or anything. Anytime, anytime I will just remember I'm just a human. I'm not divinity. So later, I try to explore those yellow open course. I also find another professor I would like to introduce to you later. I will, I will, I will text you his name. The professor is a Jewish professor. He used to taught at Duke University and later he taught at a Yale Divinity School. He taught New Testament and called Dale Martin. So I watched his class online, and I remember the first thing he told us is about. He told us. So now I'm pretending I'm Dale Martin. So before you start this class, I would like to know this is not Sunday school. This is not a church. So the Bible is a scripture, but only you have to take it as scripture. It's not holy because it's not holy because it's a holy Bible. It's holy because only you take it as holy. So if you don't take it as holy, it's just literature. So those kind of critical thinking makes me have the right value before I have in my face. So that goes through no matter later I met any church leaders, I met any pastor, including the pastor you used to introduce to me. I met anyone, I will just remember what the professor told us. See, 主米chose to be tender, which is in English called adopt everything. So your relationship, including you, Zijie, your personal relationship with God definitely will be different with my personal relationship with God. So everyone has different relationship with God. So normally the pastor do not tell you that, but Daryl Martin told me that, and I think that's a big gift because before I become a Christian, so it's a good foundation to build here. So 2% from Yale makes me have the good feeling with what kind of divinity school I want to play for. So later when I'm in America, I do visit Howard Divinity School too. I just didn't feel right. And when I go to New Haven, I stay there. And every time I went to Yale Divinity School, I visited campus, I talk with the people, and I even talked with the Caroline student. I consequently met the dean on the hall, and everyone makes me feel I'm coming home. So that's the only thing. I feel I'm coming home, then I believe that is my home. So yeah, very simple.
That detailed, very detailed, like you said. But yeah, that's all I want to ask. And I'm also learning a lot.
So I mean, maybe I only have one question to end up our conversation today. So I still remember before you still kind of struggle about your community, right?
About, but that's a specific accident about my state because I'm living with my like roommates and also girlfriend, so that's kind of.
No, I'm not asking that question.
Oh, yeah.
I mean your community. It's like you talked about you want to really fit in the local community as a USC student, because you tell me before you feel kind of difficult to fit in the diverse community. You only hang out with Chinese students because that makes you feel more easy to dealing with and more comfortable. But I want to know how is anything changed, including you recently just moved to new apartment. I think maybe there's something changed. Yeah, people around you, and also I do not want to judging or persuade anyone to become a Christian, but for me, compare with my ex, she became a Christian because his mother is a real Christian. So she really admired his mother. So she got baptized, and also she been sent to a Christian boarding school when she in high school. So his faith come from his mother. But but I appreciate that you seems, you have one thing common with me is before you really believe in this, you want to convince yourself why I believe in this, right? Yeah, that's what I can feel. So so I think maybe as a seeker, you pretty much qualify as a seeker. I mean, I can see you dedicated and you just want to get your foundation very solid. I can see that. Yeah, you do not want to rush in, for becoming a Christian and becoming a Christian. If you just do that like that, you can just, use your best, then you can get baptized. So I really appreciate that. And I don't know, maybe God still has mercy. We can, you want to those things, and I happen to be someone maybe can cooperate with you in the future. I have the experience study film before, so maybe we can really make something to show people, because if I go to publish a book, not everyone going to read. So if we can make it as a radio, and also we both from China, we can really, if we got time in the future, we can back to China, explore, my hometown Zunyi, and from my hometown, and we go to Chongqing and Chengdu and Shanghai, which we connected each other before, and the United States, and back to United States. It's going to be a long journey, but it sounds like a big project, but it still sounds worth to do it. So I don't know. I mean, it seems a lovely picture to see. But for you, I think you currently definitely have some ideas on your mind, and maybe you already making some choices. You already have your decision in your mind, right? So I would like to hear you share some experience to us, and you also tell us your inspiration or your mission in your future. Yeah, Joe, let us know your mission.
For me, I'm still like trying to find the authentic way of making documentaries. Actually, I want to use documentaries as my voice. So based on that, I'm quite busy recently to like get to know the history of documentary, or how the contemporary documentary works, or more specific, the documentary production process. So my whole point is more like, let's see where it goes and just go with the flow, but it's not like just let everything be where it should be. But maybe at this point I'm still feeling, still like experiencing, not really wanted to have a answer. So let's see.
So you still need to do you want to I mean, do you feel you need a power or someone to lead you, or you just want to do what you should do every day and see how things will happen?
Yeah, not really. I'm quite like self-driven, I think. I don't know why.
Are you quite self-driven?
Yeah,
That's good.
quite complicated, but it's a part of like curiosity about documentary because I love it as a medium. Another is because a little bit because of my ego, because you can go to a film festival and get like recognized by others. Yeah, there's two principal elements. One is like really love documentary as a medium. Another is like ego, like the awards and feedback. To be honest, yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, you don't speak too much, so I didn't feel you are very self-driven, but I'm surprised to know that.
Yeah, I'm quite self-driven, I think. So right now, I'm not struggling with like the motivation, or I'm just struggling with the time, the limited time I have every day. So yeah,
Okay, so I think, yeah, I think we had a good time today, and also appreciate everyone. No matter now or in the future, will be join as listen this radio record between me and Zijie. So I'm looking forward in the future. We're gonna bring you guys more to know about my journey with God and to know about the Jackie's journey in the United States. And thank you, everyone, being
thank you.
here. Bye
Thank you.
bye.